Welcome to 108 Gate, where we're looking at the current energies of this particular reading. And welcome to new subscribers. Just to let you know how this works, we go along with the reading as it wants to come out. So as the cards fall out, as the configuration of the cards, we also consider astrology and the current reading. So there's a playlist, and in that playlist you literally can go to any of the readings that you feel drawn to at any time. So it's not a linear thing. Yes, it's linear in the time that it's recorded and when it's going up on the list, but other than that, it is a free resource for you to consider and utilise for your own benefit. So that's just popped out. Resignation. Say goodbye to what you no longer need. So before we go over there, we're going to come over here. Another Escher. So this Escher was coming in, MC Escher was coming in with the energy of, you've got footsteps going this way, you've got footsteps going that way, you've got the puddle in the mud where there are also tracks from a vehicle, and you've got the reflection of the trees. So there's multiple aspects, multiple parts of existence, parts of interaction with that particular part of the world. If it was a real place, if it was well, it is real on the table right there, but you know what I mean. In your life, there's a particular place. So there's evidence of someone having gone that way, there's evidence of someone having come this way, there's evidence of trees that have been there a significant amount of time to have grown as big as they appear to have grown. There's evidence of the tracks of vehicles going back and forth. Probably there's also another track here which looks like a different kind of track, and then this looks like a different track to that track. So there's several different vehicles. It could be a bike, it could be a tractor, and then a car. Who knows, if we check the sizes of the shoes and stuff like that, are they the same kind of shoes? Are they different shoes? Is it two different people, or is it the same person going that way and then coming back, or going that way then? Do you know what I mean? So there's lots and lots of different illustrations of interaction in this, which this now is very poignant at this point, because the thing that was coming up with this right now was we may not see anyone around us. We may not feel that we are with people, but we may feel alone. But we may not be alone, because there may be other people in their essence around us. Also the other way around, vice versa, the flip side of that. We may feel like, okay, I'm finally on my own. I'm finally isolated and have space to myself. Yet you're feeling the buzz of the energies from others. You're feeling the buzz of who was there before. You're feeling the buzz in your aura, possibly, of where people are still attached, where people are hooked in, where people are entangled, where people are seeking you, or you are doing that to them. Either way, the main point being that just because it appears like there's no one there, because it's wet, because there's prints on it, we can see that there was someone there. There has been activity in that area. If that was just completely dry and there was no prints on there, we wouldn't know that there's been activity there, but we would have seen still the ground without the prints. So just because we assume there's no one physically there doesn't mean that energetically they're not, or you in other people's fields. Therefore, when we're doing our energy work, when we're doing our consideration of this, that and the other, blaming self or blaming others, just take a step back and see where the actual vibe is coming from, see where the actual vibe is being created. Woo! A lot of energy going through. Resignation. Say goodbye to what you no longer need. Do you really need that bicycle? Do you really need that tractor? Do you really need the car? You probably do in that context. What I mean is, do you really need to hold on to the fact that these transitions, these paths have been walked in the past? Where can you move forward? You might know this particular path off by heart. You might know it and become routine to go this way, but can you change that? Can you shift that? Are you allowing someone to come in and trample on your peace? Trample in your peace? Can you shift and change that? Self-acceptance. When we accept our higher power, when we accept our higher potential, when we accept what we are actually fully capable of, it is quite a shock to the system. Sometimes we resist accepting who we are and what we're capable of, because the actual process of having to do it and then committing to it and then knowing once it's started, you have to continue going. You can't really backtrack. Therefore, it's overwhelming. It's very, it can be on some level a way of sabotaging yourself. I point out which to sabotage yourself. So remembering that if you want to go forward, be committed to yourself. Have the tools within you to commit to yourself. So interestingly enough, another reading popped up. I might put the link in the description box below. And this is how to utilise this playlist. Just literally go and have a look. Something resonates. Something's like popping out to you, a title or something. Go and utilise it. See how it's linking up for yourself, because everything does interlock at certain times in different ways. I think it was called Confidence. There's definitely one called Ease. Anyway, I will find it and I will put the link in the box below, because it was a really interesting point that was coming up and that was reminded to me from that video. So I think it would be beneficial for at least a few of you. I can't remember right now what it was, but anyway, I will find it out. The ease at which we go, the confidence with which we move forward, we need to strengthen that. It's not for someone else to come in and do that. That's up to you. That's where you can get your control. That's where you can bring in your ownership of what you want. Can't blame anyone else. You get to a certain point of self-actualization. You get to a certain point of understanding how it works and knowing how it works. You can't blame someone else. You have to take it. Self-acceptance. You have to resign to blaming others and actually take responsibility and take it on yourself. Go into the silence of it and let it speak to you. It means that you have to just change who's in your field, who's in your field, who's walking through your energy field, who are you allowing through your energy field. When you start saying no to certain people, or certain people say no to you, how does that feel? Are you able to accept it? Are you able to handle it? King of Cups, it's just so strong. Ownership of your emotions, in your masculine emotions especially. When you want to do something and you know you have to do something and someone tries to talk you out of it, or in the reading there was something coming up about obligated. When you feel obligated to do something because someone else has said you have to, do you do that? This has just fell out as well, so we're going to have an additional feminine energy card. When you feel obligated to do something, or you're obligated for someone to come and stay, or you're obligated to let someone just pull you through the ringer again, obligated to just condone someone's behaviour even though you don't actually agree with it, obligated to accept someone when you can't really accept what they're doing, therefore you can't accept yourself. Because if you're accepting someone else for something that they're doing and you don't really accept it, you don't really agree with it, how does that put you out of sync with yourself? It's about being creative with how we are working with our energies. It's about being creative with how we look at our own energies. Therefore, mastering your own energies, mastering your own emotions in a very, very divine masculine way, in your yang. Because if... see, I feel like there's the Emperor. Okay. So the Emperor's coming up in the feminine energy. Interesting. I was feeling it on this side. I've just seen it there. I keep getting drawn to this one. 7 of coins, 7 of coins, 7 of coins. What do you usually do when you got 7 of coins? It's just before the 8. you're near building something, you're near building the correct thing for you, but there needs to be a stripping away of where you're not honouring yourself, where you're not able to accept yourself because you've allowed someone else to come in your field, in your periphery, and take you off sync with yourself. So in getting in touch with your masculine emotions, what you are determined to do, what you're feeling confident with, what you're feeling adamant to do for yourself, not because you're obligated to someone else, but because you're obligated on some level to do the correct thing for you. If you don't do the correct thing for you, you're sending out a particular kind of vibe, a particular kind of message. Therefore, everything else is knocked out of shape, everything else is knocked offline, everything is knocked out of alignment. Reclaim your power, reclaim your energies and your emotions, reclaim who you are. Then in your feminine energy, that's going to be better able to support your emperor mode. In your feminine energy, you're seeing and feeling where you should be aiming toward and how you can be aiming there. So then it's up to the masculine energy within yourself. It's your yin yang, it's within you. Your masculine energy, therefore ownership, taking ownership, receiving ownership, having ownership of your own emotions without guilt, without being reprimanded. Anytime you were reprimanded for feeling a particular way, it's incorrect. Find what's correct for you. It seems like it seemed really straightforward at first, but then it seemed higgledy-piggledy. And I think the higgledy-piggledy thing's coming in because there's so many things coming in and out. So it seems like a straight line. You are walking in a straight line, but when you've got this influence, then you've got that influence, and then you've got this coming through and that coming through. How many times does that warp your field? How many times does that warp your intentions? It warps you from you walking on your own path. It stops you from being aligned. It stops you from actually feeling and sensing where the correct direction is. Go into the silence of it. Accept who you are, not who you want to be to please others, not who others want you to be to please them. Who are you? Everything that's not you, that doesn't align with higher self, that doesn't align with divine feminine, doesn't align with divine masculine within yourself, say goodbye. You don't need it anymore. You can't carry something that you don't need. You don't need it, therefore why carry it? You just don't need it. So for now, this is a quite intense reading. The energies of it are very pull and push, very aligned with South Node in Libra, and we've got Mars and Mercury going into Libra soon. So that's going to be an extra oomph of power, a source, an extra oomph of emphasis on the velocity at which we're going to be doing work in Libra, which is your 7th house. Have a look in your chart where that is. Have a look how it influences you. Mercury, where's your Mercury and where's your Mars in your natal chart? What's that do in relation to where it is going to be in Libra? So organising things, because currently it's in Virgo. So for now, I'm going to say peace and love. See you soon.